All right, in example 9, we need to set f of x equal to g of x again, and then solve, and then we're going to factor. So it says f of x equals g of x. So we're going to take negative x squared minus 10x minus 22, and we are going to equal it to g of x, which is negative 3x minus 10. Now we're going to add 3x to both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and add it over here. And since I still have to move this 10 over to this side, we're going to do it at the same time. So I'm going to add 10 and add 10 and see what we get. So we get the negative x squared. That's fine. That stays where it is. Negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7. Keep the x. Negative 22 plus 10 becomes negative 12. We get that equal to 0. And now we try to factor it, but I have to stop because that's a negative. So that's a negative 1. So actually, we have to divide that out. I'm going to divide out that negative 1. It's called factoring. So I get a negative 1 outside, and then we get x squared plus 7x plus 12. Negative over negative is a positive. Negative over negative is a positive. Negative over negative is a positive. So now we equal that to 0. Once that is complete, now I can factor it, and I'm going to start with 12. Let's find our factors of 12. They are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. This tells me they need to be the same. This tells me they need to be positive. Okay, so that's positive 1, positive 12, positive 2, positive 6, positive 3, positive 4. And which ones are going to combine to give me 7? 1 and 12 don't. 2 and 6 gives me 8. 3 and 4 are the only ones that give me 7. So those are your factors. Okay, so we have negative 1 times x plus 3, and then x plus 7 equals 0. Okay, so now let's factor those. We're going to take negative 1 times x plus 3 times x plus 7 equals 0, and we're going to set them individually equal to 0. So that is x plus 3 equals 0, and x plus 7 equals 0. Solving, minus 3, so x equals negative 3. Minus 7, so x equals negative 7. Okay, now we plug those into g of x equals negative 3x minus 10. I choose this one because it's the easiest one to plug into. It's just a single multiplying, there's no squaring. So we're going to plug in the first one, g of negative 3 equals negative 3 times negative 3 minus 10. Negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 3 is 9. Minus 10 is negative 1. So g of negative 3 equals negative 1. Now we're going to plug in. So we get g of, what was the other one? Negative 7 equals negative 3 times negative 7. Let me do this over again. Move it down. So we have g of negative 7 equals negative 3 times negative 7 minus 10. Well, this gives me positive 21 minus 10 is 11. So g of negative 7 equals 11. So your solution, your two solutions are, okay, we take our two x values, which was negative 3 was the first one, and that gave me negative 1. All right, then the second value for x was negative 7, and that solution led me to 11. And those are your two solution points.